Welcome to Unbiased. I'm your humble host, Will. I'm back at you with another video. Before I get into this video, can you please like, share, subscribe to the channel? I'm a new platform and I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to be the biggest around here. You understand? All right. And also leave a comment. As long as your comment is respectful, I will reply back. And let's get into this video, man. This is breaking news. I'm late on it because I was asleep. I was taking a nap, old man nap. Um, and I found out LeBron James made a decision today, and he's going to Philadelphia. I was shocked when I first found out, weeks ago that he was leaving the Lakers. I already knew he was leaving the Lakers. I'm a Laker fan, so I already knew he was leaving the Lakers because the Lakers wanted to move on without LeBron and just focus on Luka. And the Lakers ain't gonna be. They might be a playoff team, but the Lakers are definitely not gonna be what us Laker fans want them to be. All right, so let me get that out the way. But I made a video about I thought LeBron was gonna go. I thought he was gonna go to Miami. That was my choice. I thought he was going to Miami, but I wanted him to go to Denver. But I knew that wasn't going to happen. To me, that made more basketball sense. Him going to Denver. It was out the blue, but I said he's not gonna go to Denver because he got to deal with the altitude. But him going to Philly, I said on the same video, I was like, if he going to Philadelphia, it's going to be one basketball. All these guys, Maxey is a 20-plus scorer. Jaylen Brown just got traded from Boston to go to Philadelphia. He's a 20-some plus scorer. He got a chip on his shoulder. He want to ball out because Boston basically chose Tatum over him. You know, and he's in a bad mood. He got something to prove. And then they got this new guy named VJ Edgecrummer. He's playing really really good, but uh, and then Embiid, he's up and down. He's injury prone. So I was like, if LeBron go there, I mean that would make the more sense for us. NBA 2K, you looking at the lineup, they have the best lineup in the NBA, but Embiid be hurt all the time. So how you gonna trust that? And LeBron, I say he's the GOAT far as him taking care of his body. I'm a Kobe and Jordan fan. Jordan 1 and Kobe 2. And LeBron right there. But I didn't never see LeBron passing those guys. But now LeBron see that too. And he's like, hey man, I'm going wherever I can go to win this field championship. And I thought he was gonna build a team in Miami. If I thought he was gonna go to Miami and he was gonna, probably bring Klay Thompson with him in Miami. Kind of like build a team like they did last time he was down in Miami. That's what I thought he was gonna do. They put the big three together and they just pop, bringing all different type of players that came to Miami. So this time in Philly, this team was already built. LeBron just looking at it like just plug in and we're gonna get with it. But they're gonna have to. There's gonna be a lot of pressure on Philadelphia. First of all, let me just get that out of the way. There's gonna be a lot of pressure on them and them the teammates to try to gel together, get some good chemistry together. On paper, yeah, they look good. Ain't nobody's gonna dispute that. On paper, they look real, real good. But the New York Knicks, they got that great chemistry. That's why they beat everybody. Those guys wanted it more. They knew how to play together. They really played together in college in Villanova. Jalen Brunson and the rest of the guys that he had on the team. And Cat was playing real, real good. Embiid, man, I guess they had to try to coast him through the season. I guess number one seed ain't gonna matter to Philadelphia, and that's another question I'm gonna ask. How many wins they gonna, how many regular season wins are they gonna get? I know FanDuel and DraftKings, all of them are gonna say the same thing. They're gonna win 60 games. You know, if they're gonna have over under, is they gonna win 60 games or whatever. But I don't think Philadelphia really care probably because Miami, when he was in with the Heat, they didn't really care about if they had the number one seed or not. They just knew if they was healthy, they was gonna beat anybody anyway. And they had to play the Bulls one year, and the Bulls had the number one seed. Derrick Rose had won MVP. I think the Bulls won the first game when they played each other in the Eastern Conference Finals, and after that, the Heat won four straight. You know what I'm saying? So as long as the Philadelphia is healthy, and to me, it ain't just them healthy. They got to know what to do. they gotta have that chemistry. What offense they gonna be running? They gotta know how to play off each other. You know what I'm saying? It's a stacked team, but if they don't know how to play with each other, it's not gonna work. You know, and I've been said that it's not gonna work if they don't know how to gel. OKC, they know how to gel. San Antonio knows exactly what they're doing, but the only team that can beat them in the East to me is New York. Cleveland, Cleveland just jack up a lot of shots and play a lot of playground basketball that they played on defense. Um, Philly, we're gonna see if the more play defense. I know Maxi, he gets a lot of steals. I know Jalen Brown plays defense. VJ, he plays good defense. LeBron, he probably gonna have to play some defense now when he get with these guys because Jalen's an outspoken guy. If LeBron is sagging on defense, he gonna let him know. I know you LBJ and all, but hey, get your head back on defense. So I think Jalen gonna get after him, and but I do think LeBron's gonna get after Embiid, for not staying in shape. He ain't never been in shape, and when he did, he won the MVP. But I think the farthest they've been in since he been in, it's the second round. It's the farthest the Philadelphia ever been. I think they were close one year when they played Kawhi, and Kawhi got that lucky ass shot in. When he was in Toronto. Um, Philadelphia got put out, and Embiid started crying in. Clearly this is the best team in the East on paper. I mean, there's no disputing that. But we're gonna see what Miami gonna put together now. Pat Riley probably pissed. I know I'm pretty sure they fired the dude who put it out on social media that LeBron was coming to Miami. He kind of leaked it out. Um, Told me it was gonna be a big announcement that LeBron was coming to Miami. So I know that dude fired. Uh, Whoever he is, he probably ain't gonna be able to get another job anywhere else. He want to work his way back up to getting back to the status he was at in Miami, because everybody gonna remember him. Yeah, you gotta see what Miami gonna put together. I think the Hawks have a good young team. Detroit, Cunningham, he needs some help. I didn't really see anybody they picked up that's going to help him. Um, but Detroit should be a good team. Orlando, a good team. I think it's going to be some teams that can try to fight them, make it look a little hard for Philly. But that's my biggest thing is can they gel together? Can they play off each other? I understand LeBron's, people gonna yell at him and say he's ring chasing. He is ring chasing to me, but I give him grace because he's 41. I mean, he's still playing at a high level, but he's 41, man. He's been in the league with this. I think this is year 24 he's gonna go into. So people can talk about it and try to bash him and say, "Hey, man, he ring chasing and all that." And I'm telling you, I'm not a huge LeBron fan. I killed LeBron when he went to Miami. So I'm the first one to say that. The people that really, really know me, I crucified that man when he left Cleveland and went to Miami. I was one of those ones. I didn't burn no jerseys or none of that because I didn't buy no jerseys because, like I said, I was a Kobe fan. But I did respect LeBron because I saw LeBron come up from high school and made his way into Cleveland. And then when he first made his first finals appearance, when he before he got to the finals, he ended up beating Detroit. Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Rip Hamilton, Sean Billups, he went through those guys, Tayshaun Prince. He beat them in 6 games. And then I think that game 6, LeBron was just going crazy. He scored like 20 points in a row or something like that. I can't remember. But he had went crazy on Detroit. And they just couldn't stop him. But they was at that time they was an older team, but they was still kind of in their prime 'cause they had just won the championship not too long ago. So and he went right through them. Braun went right through him, and I was surprised, and I was happy. I was rooting for him, and I was like, dang. But I knew he wasn't gonna beat the Spurs when he first played them, and he didn't. He couldn't get a game. He couldn't even win a game. They swept him. But we knew then, LeBron was coming. He had already arrived then. He kind of arrived, but we were like, yeah, he like this close to winning the championship in Cleveland. But I just didn't like how he, did everything when he left Cleveland and went to Miami, and he ended up, redeeming himself in a way, bringing them folks to championship. But him going all over these places trying to win a championship, man. I know, I guess what I want to say is all these great ball players or just great players, you know, in all sports. You can't see them staying with one team and winning all their championships in one place anymore. Especially in the NBA, NFL. You might can see maybe a quarterback, stick around and do it like Patrick Mahomes or something. He might, he probably gonna be a Kansas City Chief the rest of his career. But I can't see anybody else, doing what Brady, even Brady ain't winning a championship in another, with another team in another city. But LeBron trying to do this in 5 different spots. 5 different spots LeBron trying to do this in. Now, the one thing I can say LeBron was really, really pissed off about when he was with the Lakers, when he won a championship with the Lakers, and he didn't get the big ceremony like he wanted. He really wanted the big ceremony, parade, and everything in LA. He never got that because we was in lockdown. We had COVID going on, and LeBron was really, really pissed off about that. He wanted when after the world had opened back up, he still wanted that parade, and they didn't ever give him that parade. He saw what the Dodgers had got it, when they wanted a World Series, and LeBron wanted it, but he got it in Cleveland. Of course, he got it in Miami, and so it's crazy. He's trying to win everywhere he go, bro. He is. He's trying to win to go. I said 5, 6. I meant 4, but this will be his 5th ring. But if he get it done, I ain't gonna lie. This is his best team he ever been on. Like Philadelphia, they were kind of like New York. They haven't won a championship in before I was born. They ain't won no championship. I'm an '86 baby. I think they ain't won a championship since Dr. J, Moses Malone. That's the last time they won a championship. They had been like 80, 81 or something like that. If they win, they gonna party like New York people did. They gonna party. If LeBron finally pull this off, we just gonna have to wait and see. But like I said, we're gonna figure out how many games they're gonna win in the regular season. I know they're gonna do over and under on that. And one thing I want to say too is who's gonna be the leading scorer? Who's gonna be the leading scorer on the team? You will say it'll be Embiid, but Embiid ain't in his prime like he used to be. So I'm guessing it's gonna be Maxey, because Maxey's gonna be bringing the ball up the court majority of the time. Uh, who's gonna get the most shots? You know, they're going to figure all this shit out. They got to figure it out. How they gonna play defense? You know, I don't know, man. I can say that ESPN finna eat this up. A lot of places finna eat this up and be like, we really finna win and all that. But hold your horses on that. Hold your horses on that. They got to learn how to play together. They got to know how to gel. Who's getting the most shots? They got to have that. They got to get that understood. Who's gonna be taking the last shot? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna take the last shot? Jalen used to do it in Boston, basically. Because Tatum was kind of off and on, and Brown was taking over that role. And before they got there, it was between Maxey and Embiid. Majority of the time, they gave the ball to Embiid when Embiid was there. When he's healthy, they get the ball to Embiid. But Embiid ain't feeling himself. He'll let Maxey. He'll defer to Maxey and let Maxey do that. But now LeBron and Brown on the team. Gonna see who taking that last shot. And on top of that, is LeBron gonna step on Nick Nurse's shoes by coaching? LeBron think he's a big time coach too now. He like to, call plays himself. So is they gonna get into it? Him and Nick Nurse, they gonna be seeing eye to eye. Like I said, when we went to Miami, LeBron and was trying to talk to Wade, and so they can talk to Pat Riley and try to get exposure about it. And exposure's still there, and them boys gone, and he's still there. Now he got Giannis. So exposure showed everybody that he a good coach. He ain't a good coach. He a great coach. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see about Nick Nurse. He ended up winning the championship with Kawhi in Toronto. he showed he's a great coach as well. Because all they needed was Kawhi at that time. Because Toronto was already good. And I felt sad for DeRozan, because DeRozan had put in so many years in Toronto, and they just couldn't get over the hump. And as soon as they ship him out the door, and they bring in Kawhi, they win a championship. They get a ring. So I know that sucks for him. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how LeBron and them get this, how they do. I know one thing, the tickets finna be high here. The tickets finna be high here in Philadelphia. And wherever they go, they playing in New York. I stay in Georgia, so they come down and play the Hawks twice a year, 2 times. Them tickets gonna be high hell. You know what I'm saying? So, man, y'all see, the way the economy is right now, shit. But I guess it didn't matter where LeBron was gonna go. The ticket was gonna go. If he would have went with the Warriors and him and Curry, that would have been box office. A lot of people would love to see that. I wouldn't mind seeing some old niggas go out there and try to show the young boy, hey, we still got it. I wouldn't mind that. Tickets would have been high here, but like I said, I would have tried to make me and my son go to that game. 'Cause I know if he would have played with the Warriors, he would have took just one trip to Atlanta. 'Cause, that's all they played. West played the East teams twice a year, and once each on the other court. But I salute LeBron. I salute him. You made your choice. You went to Philadelphia. Can't hate on you. I'm not gonna hate on you. You only making $8 million for 2 years. That's what he doing. He said he ain't about the money. We already know LeBron, a billionaire. He probably about the youngest. I know he's the youngest in the NBA for being a billionaire. So I salute him. And if he win this championship, he's gonna be remembered big time in Philadelphia. No doubt about that. Um, I don't know. We'll see. I know Allen Iverson, Dr. J, they probably shocked. Moses Malone, those guys, those Philadelphia legends. Barkley probably happy. He started his career out in Philadelphia. He been wanting them to win a championship. He probably, he was sad that he couldn't do it. He left Philly and went to Phoenix. He made it to the finals. He couldn't win there either. But I know, Charles does that. He loves Philadelphia. He has that place has a special place in his heart. So I know he gonna be rooting. He gonna be rooting for LeBron and the Sixers to get it done. But we're gonna see, man. New York ain't no joke, bro. They ain't no joke. They ain't gonna go away easy. So Jalen Brunson, I saw him on what he was on Saturday Night Live. No, not Saturday Night Live. It was Saturday Night Main Event WWE, and he had a brace on his arm or something. He was in the ring. He had a brace on his arm. Oh yeah, I forgot about Indiana. Good Hallenberg had came out there too, messing with Brunson. He's gonna be coming off an injury. The Indiana Pacers, they was good when he was there. Forget about Indiana. Indiana gonna be back in the mix too. But they ain't gonna have enough to go against Philly in my eyes. But like I say, if Philadelphia don't know how to get their chemistry right, the Pacers might put their ass out. So it's gonna be a lot of pressure on LeBron. LeBron been dealing with the pressure all his career, but it's gonna be more pressure on them, his teammates. It's gonna affect him, Nick Nurse and all those guys. They ain't never seen nothing like this. This team on paper, they gotta win the championship. There's no if in the bus about it. If they don't win it this upcoming season, they gotta win it the next season. And LeBron only signed a 2-year deal, so they definitely putting, the fans gonna be on their ass. The media's gonna be on their ass. They gotta win it. So hey, it is what it is. We're gonna see. I hope they can deal with it. They said pressure bust pipes, but pressure also make diamonds. So we gonna see. But it is what it is. That's all I got. Um, I'll catch you on the next video. Gotcha.